Hello everyone, Wrona here, and today we will be playing Jurassic World Dominion Bingo. And well, because today it is June 10th. Today, in only about 2-ish hours, I'm going to finally see Jurassic World Dominion, and I'm as ready as I can possibly get. Because, well, I spent the whole week rewatching the Jurassic movies, from Jurassic Park all the way to Battle at Big Rock. So I think I'm pretty well prepared, but I'm still anxious about the whole movie. And well, actually there are probably some reflections, so let me get rid of those. If you haven't seen Jurassic World Dominion yet, do not watch this video, because there are gonna be massive spoilers. But what is this bingo thing? Well, here I have some predictions and some things I hope to see in Dominion. And well, now we're gonna go quickly through them, and then I'm gonna watch the movie. I'm going to cosplay as Dr. Grant in the cinema, and my friend who's coming with me is gonna cosplay as Dr. Malcolm. So that's gonna be great. Well, an experience certainly. First thing, I suspect nobody from the main cast is going to die. That's something we expect of Jurassic Park movies. That maybe, I don't know, there's an exception with like Eddie Carr, I imagine, but like it wouldn't serve any purpose, and it would make just fans sad and angry, probably like, killing, I don't know, Dr. Malcolm for no reason. That would be dumb, so they're not going to do that. Number two is where it gets interesting, because I actually imagine, I'm pretty sure that Blue is gonna die. Why? First of all, they probably want to give us an emotional scene, right? The Blue sacrificing herself for Owen or something like that. That's most likely gonna happen. And why is that okay? Well, because of Beta. I already suspected that Beta, being identical to Blue, is probably sort of a clone, just like Scorpius Rex in Camp Cretaceous, right? And actually that got recently confirmed because I learned something from a sort of a leak thing, whatever. I try to stay as far from spoilers as I can. I don't want to ruin the experience, because I can only watch this movie for the first time only once, and there are going to be so many emotions in the cinema, I imagine. But but unfortunately I learned that, that's confirmed for me. So I imagine since Beta is a clone of Blue, that's gonna make things sort of okay, and probably give even more incentive for Owen to save Beta from biosyn. Number 3. I hope the prologue isn't in the film, because the idea for the prologue is great. Like, it's amazing, but the execution is terrible. I hate it. Like, if they use like prehistoric planet level accuracy, I would forgive them every single inaccuracy they showed in the films. I would forgive everything. But no, what do? They throw in both T-Rex and the Giga in the Morrison formation. Like, what are you doing, Universal? Unless they change the whole prologue to be scientifically accurate, then absolutely yes. Number 4. Rexy lives. I hope she lives. Don't kill off Rexy. She's too good to die. Please. Number 5. Dr. Wu gets killed by a dromaeosaurid. Well, Dr. Wu's probably gonna turn into a good guy, realize his mistakes and sort of try to fix them, and die in the process, in the end making him a good guy, right? That's probably what's gonna happen with Dr. Wu. And, looking at the Jurassic Park novel, Dr. Wu gets eaten by a velociraptor. Well, but that's probably not gonna happen, because Blue is a good character, and so is Dr. Wu probably meant to be. So I suppose that maybe leaves the Pyroraptor. But we will see. To be safe, I'm gonna say Dr. Wu gets killed by a dromaeosaurid. Number 6. A group of Dimetrodons eats someone. Because I really imagine that a group of Dimetrodons would be just so cool. Also, we really need a Lego Dimetrodon figure. That's just a crocodile with a sail. I really imagine that a group of Dimetrodons eating someone in those caves. I mean, I don't know how they fit in the caves with those sails, but we will see about that in the film. 7. Rain Delacourt gets killed by the Atrociraptors. Well, you know, Delacourt is probably gonna die in Malta, I imagine. Well, they're not gonna drag him anywhere else, and he probably deserves to die. He's a poacher, and he kidnaps Beta, that's what we know from the trailers. And probably to show that the Atrocities are dangerous, they're just gonna kill him. Number 8. A really, really big question for me. Will there be a reference to Camp Cretaceous? I seriously hope there will be some sort of a direct reference to Camp Cretaceous, like a very open reference to Camp Cretaceous. I would really like to see either Bumpy, like adult Bumpy, or maybe Baby Toro in live action. It would be great, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna be resolved in Camp Cretaceous Season 5. They're probably gonna talk about different corporations that clone dinosaurs, and they might mention Manticorp. It would be great. Universal had plenty of time to prepare some sort of crossover like this. halfway through. Number 9, that Dodgson, I know that's not a Dodgson minifigure, we don't have that yet. Dodgson gets eaten by the Giga. Well, again, they probably want to show that Giga is a big bad boy, and he's just gonna eat Dodgson, you know. Dodgson also probably deserves to die, he's a bad character. Thinking about that, thinking about the Lost World novel, Dodgson, I would really like a sort of a reference, like, you know, Dodgson getting like dragged from under a car. And I mean, we even see a car like toppled over in the trailer, so maybe that's some sort of a thing possibly happening. We will see that, but yeah, probably eaten by Giga. Number 10, Giga lives. We've seen Indominus die, we've seen Indoraptor die, like, enough bad dinosaurs dying, let them live for once, they're just dinosaurs. And like, I feel sorry for the Giga. I suppose he's like meant to battle some sort of like Camp Cretaceous, right? That they want to make dinosaur battle arena, possibly Bison wants to do something similar, and that's why Giga is like so big and aggressive and whatever. The Giga's design is so like, it's not accurate, don't get me wrong, it's not accurate, but I love the tail so much, I want it to live. Number 11 is a bit niche, but I would really like Dr. Sarah Harding to get mentioned, at least mentioned, because I mean she's not like referenced in the cast, and they probably wouldn't keep her as a secret, I imagine, but still, it would be great to hear that, I don't know, she and Dr. Malcolm are married. That would be amazing if you ask me. Another one. Mosasaurus caught by Biosyn. Like, I'm thinking, because, well, I want to see some Mosasaurus action. Fallen Kingdom left me a bit disappointed with the lack of the Mosasaur, and I want to see as much a Mosasaur as I can in this film. So, and it would be really, like, funny. Can you imagine, like, I don't know, because the Biosyn HQ is in Dolomites, right? How would they, like, drag a Mosasaurus to the HQ? Like, can you imagine, like, an underground lake underneath the facility, like with the Mosasaurus swimming in it? It would be so cool. I want to see Mosasaurus in Biosyn HQ. I hope there is an unannounced species, something we have not seen in any promotional material, any trailer, anything, nothing. I seriously hope that's the case, but I doubt it. I really wish they kept sort of a secret like this, but I think they've shown us everything in the trailers, and that's a bit disappointing, but I'm still holding out hope that they will show us something we have not seen. The next one is pretty straightforward. Quetzalcoatlus eats someone. I mean, just like snap and like swallow with this huge neck. It's a humongous pterosaur, and it's so cool. It'll be great to see him eat someone. And well, the final two. I hope there is a post-credit scene. I mean, I'm gonna sit through the credits anyway. I really like the music they play during the credits, so I'm gonna do that. And I hope there is some sort of an Easter egg thing, post-credit thing, you know, yeah. And the final one, it is a bit vague, but I hope I like the ending. The ending is a huge part of the film, if you ask me, and I want to feel satisfied when I leave the cinema. I hope there's like a big plot twist, something, and I wish a little bit they sort of go all out with the ending, like, I know, all the dinosaurs have to die. I don't think they would do that, because like, well, cloning technology exists. Even if you kill all the living dinosaurs, somebody's gonna clone a new one, so that doesn't make too much sense. But on the other side of the spectrum, what if all the humans die and dinosaurs rule the world? I mean, it's supposed to be the final movie, eh? I mean, I imagine there are gonna be more, but that's supposed to be the final movie and thing. Like, can you imagine going all out sci-fi, because Jurassic Park is already a sci-fi franchise, go all out sci-fi catastrophic thing, all the humans die and dinosaurs rule the world. Well, I don't know. Either way, I hope I'm satisfied with the ending. Oh, that's that. The whole bingo card. Well, all that's left to do now, I suppose, is to edit this bit of the video, then get dressed as Dr. Grant, and actually go to the cinema and watch the film. And oh boy, I hope it's a good movie. Well, it seems I'm ready. Oh, well. So, I've watched Jurassic World Dominion. I've just returned from the cinema, and I like this movie. I did. I was just smiling all the time when watching it. I was just grinning. I was like, oh, is this? Ah, yes! I did like it. I suppose let's go over the bingo and then I'll just talk about stuff, because, well, nobody from the main cast dies. I'm really happy about that. I know it could be like a plot twist, somebody dies and all, but to be honest, Jurassic Park doesn't need that. It does not need that. The cast, they're all happy. They lived happily ever after. Well, as for the second thing, Blue dies. She doesn't die. We get her a happy ending, Blue and Beta, which actually I took Beta with me to the cinema because of course I did. I had the little Beta, and she and Blue lived happily ever after. Fine, I mean, not that much Blue development stuff. Well, well. Oh yeah, well, talking about Beta and Blue, Maisie, the whole plot twist thingy, whatever, you know, she was actually born, not stuff. Okay, I was really interested by that, and to be fair, I think that's really great, but one thing that I find kind of weird is that how the focus of the whole film was this locust, you know. I kind of wish they came up with a bit more stuff, but still, I think that's good enough. The prologue isn't in the film, I actually got that right, so I am happy about that. As for like a dinosaur net, I'm always just, I know it's like kind of pointless, but I'm always annoyed like, that's an inaccurate design of this actually should be like this and that, you know. To me it's kind of important, and actually they had like, you know, those lines just put in that didn't necessarily make sense with the plot, you know, this guy just straight up going like, oh, you know, birds are dinosaurs technically. You know, that doesn't really contribute to the plot, but it makes guys like me really happy. And this Moros Intrepidus, I was like, in the trailers, in the prologue, you know, why did they put like a Moros? What in the world? What does that have to do with anything? Now they like put it actually in the bison facility, and they say it has 100%, you know, genome thing and whatever, and it's actually good. And they show it accurate dinosaur. I think, you know, we just saw it for a brief moment, but as far as I could tell, it was pretty accurate. So I am really happy with dinosaur accuracy and, you know, feathers and stuff. Oh yes, I am happy that I forgive Jurassic World the prologue. I forgive them the prologue, I'm really happy. Rexy lives. Like, yeah, you know, the whole thing with like Rexy, Giga throwing Rexy and Rexy being like motionless and looking like she was dead. I was like, they didn't kill her. They couldn't have. Is she dead? I was like a little bit curious, like, is she dead? She can't be dead. And then she, you know, she wakes up and goes like smash. And all, you know what happens. Well, I'm happy that Rexy lives. I don't think I would have been happy if Rexy died. Wu gets killed by a dromaeosaur. We didn't get that. Wu got his happy ending. Why is the minifigure with a beard? Why does the minifigure have a beard? I don't know. Wu didn't have a good beard in the movie. Maybe, I don't know, some concept art, whatever. Either way, Wu got a really happy ending. And I'm really okay with that. It was good to see him like fix everything, like fix the whole locust thing, and like be like, hey, I'm a good guy now, I suppose. I enjoy that. And Dr. Wu, yes, I'm happy for that. A group of Dimetrodon eats someone. Unfortunately, they didn't eat anyone. It's a shame that nobody, you know, was with like Grant and Sattler and Maisie, like sort of a, you know, the character, like throwaway character. It's a shame, but there was a group of Dimetrodons, which I'm happy, because like a group of Dimetrodons, that's really nice. Why do they live in caves and swim in water? Well, to be fair, I don't know, let's sort of say that's speculative behavior, right? Sure, why not? I'm really happy with the Dimetrodons. Delacourt killed by Atrociraptors. Well, Delacourt dies. That's good, I mean, he deserves to die, he's a poacher, he kidnapped Blue, he's a bad guy, right? And he kidnapped Maisie. I didn't expect Maisie to be kidnapped. Okay, but he dies by baby baryonyx. I mean, that's something next level thing. Like, that's really surprising. I mean, he gets killed. So again, like I suppose half the point. A reference to Camp Cretaceous. Unfortunately, not. Like Bumpy, as far as I can tell, unless I missed something. No Bumpy, no Toro. There was the red Carnotaurus from Lockwood with the missing horn, right? So there was one. Actually, when Fallen Kingdom came out, I thought, and when Camp Cretaceous came out, I thought that the red Carnotaurus was actually Toro in Fallen Kingdom. Well, we can tell now that it's not Toro. I mean, he doesn't have the scar, which should be visible. A bit unfortunate, yes, but still, cool to see him. About the reference, like, I mean, they had dinosaur mind control thing, like, I mean, they told the dinosaurs to go and seek shelter in the facility. Well, that's a thing. Is that a reference to Camp Cretaceous? I feel like it's more like Camp Cretaceous referencing Dominion. before Dominion comes out, so not exactly. That's a bit disappointing. I would really like a strong connection with Camp Cretaceous. Though we're going to see the Biosin can in season 5 of Camp Cretaceous, so that's a thing, I suppose. But that kind of means that Jurassic Park the game is a bit mixed up now, because I mean, you know, in my head, what I'm gonna say, because in the end of Jurassic Park the game, Rexy stomps on the can, right? What I'm going to say is that, oh, she stepped next to the can and we didn't see that in Jurassic Park the game, and we got the happy ending, because I'm not gonna accept the sad ending of Jurassic Park the game. I'm not gonna do that. Dodgson eaten by Giga. Well, actually Giga didn't eat anyone except the deer and the fiery locust. Like, Giga does really like things that are on fire, there's light. Yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Giga didn't eat any person, any human. Oh, hold up. I just know something. A group of dinosaur Dimetrodons eat someone. There was a skull in the Dimetrodon chamber. We didn't see the Dimetrodons eat someone, but they did eat someone before, I suppose. So I'm gonna count that. It's my bingo. I'm gonna count what I want. Dodgson eaten by Giga? Unfortunately not, but he got eaten by a pack of Dilophosaurs. I mean, it's obviously fitting. I remember being annoyed at Fallen Kingdom for too many references to Jurassic Park, but to be fair, with this movie, it was like ultimate fan service, I feel. For like a fan of Jurassic Park, there were so many references, and in my opinion, cool references that I really enjoyed it. Dodgson's character was a bit weird, to be honest. I felt like... I don't know about Dodgson. I mean, it's kind of like they were, you know, pretending to be the good guys in the beginning. I was really intrigued in Biosin, like when watching the movie. It was nothing I expected, actually. No, I didn't expect Biosin to be like this. You know, they were the only ones who were supposed to care for the dinosaurs. Didn't expect anything like this. So happy with Biosin development. You know. And it turns out that it's actually an evil company trying to rule the world or whatever with the locusts, right? Giga lives. It's a shame. Giga it has such a cool design, had a very cool potential. I was really happy to see, like, with the deer scene, you know, when Rexy comes around, she sees the deer and she's like, oh, I'm gonna eat the deer. And I'm gonna eat it. And then Giga shows up and he's like, no, that's my territory, you cannot be here. And Rexy's like, hey, and they were like, rah. And they were like, oh, okay, you win, fine. And Rexy goes away. That's a realistic fight, none of the Jurassic Park 3 nonsense with the Spinosaurus. I mean, you can explain that the Spinosaurus was like a genetically modified, aggressive thing, right? But no need for explaining here. They're actually big cannibals fighting for territory and dominance. That's some realistic stuff. And then in the end, you know, there's all this fire thing. Now they're all thrown into a very small crowded space. Obviously the animals are very agitated, and it does seem like a good place that the dinosaurs could fight. So yes, it makes sense that they fought there. I just kind of wish that we had an ending with like Giga and Rexy being, hey, we're gonna be friends. Unfortunately not, but I suppose that's a bit more realistic, like a top predator wouldn't really want another one, right? With this Therizinosaurus, like, Therizinosaurus was blind. I did not expect that. Why was it blind? It was engineered by Biosin, obviously, the Therizinosaurus. Why would it be blind? I suppose it has some sort of a genetic defect. But I loved the way it looked in the movie. Like, it's not prehistoric planet level, but for Jurassic Park I really love the design of the Therizinosaurus. And it really makes me want a better figure than this. I do really think that after seeing it in Dominion on the big screen, I kind of want a better figure than that. But still, I love the design in Dominion. Unfortunately, Giga dies, like, Rexy pushes him and he gets impaled by... It was... the one thing that was ridiculous, like, Rexy roars, Therizinosaurus roars, and there's lightning strike! That's a bit ridiculous, but to be honest, I don't mind. It was fine. Well, how Rexy enters, actually, you know, the final fight, that's a really good thing. Well, she just goes, you know, walks by this, you know, circle sculpture thing, and we see it's like the Jurassic Park logo. if you ask me, that's not cringe. Like, I see how some people could say that's a cringy thing. No, to me it's really cool. I was really smiling and I loved it. And then, like, yeah, I like how they were, like, circling around the main cast, going around them, because, well, yeah, and I mean, they're the main people. I just kind of wish Grant went, like, oh, not you again. But no, I think enough of that was said, like, in the helicopter when they were flying, and they were like, oh, we just caught the T-Rex. And Grant's like, the T-Rex. So that was some great stuff. The next one, Dr. Harding is mentioned. Unfortunately not, but at least, well, Malcolm mentions he has 5 children, so I suppose in a way, well, some backstory, and Kelly, you know, whatever, yeah. Mosasaurus caught by biocin, well, unfortunately, Mosasaurus really shined in Jurassic World. It was the star, it was so wonderful, it was the best in Jurassic World. Then in Fallen Kingdom it didn't really do anything, and here, again, I mean, at least it had more action than in Fallen Kingdom, so yeah, but not like plot developing action, which is unfortunate. I kinda wish Mosasaurus got involved. It's a shame, but I absolutely adored the shot in the end with the whales, Mosasaurus. Is it just me, or was Mosasaurus just like, yeah, I like you, whale? Is it just me imagining things, or was it really there? Because, I mean, I do imagine Mosasaurus would eat whales, but maybe they didn't like those whales, you know? And it's so humongous! It's like, well, it was like twice the size of the whales. I love the Mosasaurus, it's ridiculous and I love it. It's kaiju, basically. The next one, oh, there is an unannounced species, and there was an unannounced species. Well, actually, we did get the Microceratus, I imagine, the Microceratus, whatever. I think is the one from the novel, isn't it? And it was just right there, and I think it was in Malta and with Charlotte Lockwood. And I'm really happy. I mean, it's just a tiny little thing. I wish there was like a big surprise thing, but that's enough. If you ask me, that's enough. Like, I was really happy to see something I have not seen anywhere. It's great. We didn't see Quetzalcoatlus eating anyone. It's a shame, you know. Quetzalcoatlus should eat someone. So we did get some really cool shots with the Quetzal and some Quetzalcoatlus action. So that's fine. I really like this, you know, like this aerial protection field, force field that kept the pterosaurs inside, and it was really cool. There wasn't a post-credit scene, unfortunately, as much as I would like one. I think we kind of deserved one in Dominion, like a post-credit scene or whatever, but, well, what you gonna do? And finally, did I like the ending? Yes, I did like the ending. Did I love it? I really feel like the ending didn't change much from the beginning. I suppose it's like a simple plot, like, you know, it starts with everything is a bit meh, and then something dramatic happens and they have to save Maisie, they have to save Beta, and they have to expose Biosyn, and they do all that, and we get a happy ending and everyone's happy, and they lived happily ever after. Well, if you ask me, that is some great stuff. Well, I mean, maybe it's a bit simple plot, it's not like complex and everything, but maybe it's for simple-minded people. But I did like it. I did like it that this happily ever after. I like that ending. To be fair, I wish there was a bit more impact, like dinosaurs and humans living together now. And like, for example, I don't know, maybe it would be a bit cringy, but sort of like, I don't know, Dinotopia stuff, you know, with, I don't know, dinosaurs, people using dinosaurs to plow fields and stuff. I don't know, maybe it would be a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, I really feel like the ending should have like changed. It's like in the beginning you see, oh no, dinosaurs are in the wild now, and in the end we see, oh, dinosaurs are still in the wild now, but we gotta deal with it. It's okay. Don't get me wrong, it's okay, but I feel like the ending should have been a bit more impactful, because like perhaps they should have dropped the final fight. Like if they want some action, they should have gone for something else. I mean, we've already had like fights, Rexy versus Indominus, Blue versus Indoraptor, and now we had Rexy and Therizinosaurus versus Giga. I feel they should have maybe thought, instead of like, I just remembered the fire-breathing Giga. It was so crazy, but at the same time it was so cool. Malcolm going like push with the locust on fire and just Giga going. It's so ridiculous. I was smiling and grinning the whole time. It was fun, don't get me wrong. Okay, in the end, we didn't get a bingo. But to be fair, there were a lot of like surprising things in the movie that I did enjoy, and I did like this movie. I liked it. Could it have been better? With some slight changes, I feel it could have been absolutely amazing if you ask me. I really liked the Malta scene, you know? I really liked Malta. This movie went really out of the box with everything I would consider Jurassic Park. Like, Jurassic Park has always been this sort of thing, people go to an island, they see some peaceful, you know, animals, and they're like, oh yeah, it's so cool, and then the bad guys come in and they try to eat the people, and people make out, and they fly off in a plane. Like, that's what it's always been. The first three movies, basically, I mean, I know it is different. If you ask me, Jurassic Park The Lost World is probably my favourite, and I suppose it's still gonna be my favourite. Maybe a lot because of nostalgia still, but Jurassic World Dominion is still amazing. I love it. Yeah, this movie went early out of the box. It sort of started, you know, halfway through the Fallen Kingdom, right? That was a really big step, you know, leaving the island, so that sort of started to be very different. And then finally Jurassic World Dominion, it showed us things that I would never expect Jurassic Park show us, like the whole chase in Malta, everything. Seeing it in the trailers, I didn't think I was gonna like Malta scenes, but I love them. It was great, you know, this whole thing and everything. I really liked it, like the underground secret dinosaur black market. That was great. And the final Owen being chased by the two Raptors, just going into the plane, into the boxcar, and finding the motorbike. That was great. I loved it. And you know, this whole thing, like this whole original trio in the Biosyn facility, again, amazing things. Also, in the end, we saw 3 T-Rexes. We saw Rexy with 2 other T-Rexes. And they did mention that they had dinosaurs from Isla Solna in the sanctuary, in the Biosyn sanctuary. It could be Buck and Doe from The Lost World. And I really hope they are. I'm gonna look for some confirmation on the internet, but I really hope that they are Buck and Doe from Jurassic Park The Lost World, because they are the best T-Rexes. Yeah, I mean, is Rexy the best T-Rex? I don't know. Jurassic World Dominion. What do I think of it? Amazing for a Jurassic Park fan, with all the references, all the cast together and everything. It's so great. Amazing for a dinosaur nerd like me. Visual effects, everything, all the sound design, whatever. Wonderful. Certain elements a tiny bit disappointing, if you ask me, like, tiny bit, but it's okay. And the ending should have been a bit more impactful, showing dinosaurs and humans really coexisting together in a new way. But everyone lived happily ever after, and I'm so glad for that. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Wrona, and I really like Jurassic World Dominion. Oh, it's late. Goodbye.